Hello, crypto fans. Just giving a minute to see if anybody's going to join us live today. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin and LiteCoin. One of the people who watches the show said that they'd like to know more about individual coins and which ones to invest in. So I'm not a financial advisor. I can't tell you what to invest, but I'm going to tell you about some of the more popular coins. So let's start off with the first two that are not necessarily the most popular, but a few weeks ago, I'm looking at my other screen here, I mentioned there's a website called coinmarketcap.com, and Bitcoin is at #1 on the list because you multiply the number of shares or coins, 17.8 million, times the current price, and it has a market cap of 215 million. LiteCoin is currently #5. It's a little low right now, 62 million coins at $107 and a little change each. So Bitcoin was the first one, of course. It was created by somebody that goes by the name of, I'm forgetting, Nakamoto, Satoshi Nakamoto. And whether that's a real person or not, nobody knows. Some people think it's a person, some people think it's a group of people that just created that as a nickname, and some people think it was the government, the CIA, or the Federal Reserve, or even Alan Greenspan and his team created it. So that's an interesting idea. So Bitcoin was the first. They created the software, and the software is what's called open source. If you're not in the software, what that means is that the code is put out on the internet free, and anybody can take that code, copy it, and run their own version of it. So you could create your own Bitcoin and bring up your own network with just the right technical skills. By the way, the dark clouds rolled in, and it's a storm is kind of rolling over Irving right now. So that's what open source is. And what you need is you need miners. So maybe we talked about this before, maybe not. Miners are the people who keep your network going. So if you created Bitcoin, you need miners to create what's called new blocks. And they do this mathematical cryptographic computation to see who gets to create the next block. Well, when Bitcoin was first created, you would get rewarded 50 Bitcoins when you created the block. And then there's something called halving that happens every certain frequency. And so half of 50 was 25. The reward was decreased. And I think it was last year the reward was decreased again. And so now it's 12.5 Bitcoins. And that's why people are motivated to do mining, because 12.5 Bitcoin right now is something like $42,000. So you can go buy these special machines with what's called ASIC chips, application-specific integrated circuits. And they're kind of expensive, several $1,000s. And their only purpose is to quickly run these cryptographic computations in order to play the game to see who's going to win the next block. And so you have these thousands of people, hear the thunder? Thousands of people doing that throughout the world, and the one who wins this little crypto contest gets to create the next block, and that person is rewarded Bitcoin in exchange for running the mining machine. Now, what a lot of the miners do is they have a small machine or only 1 or 2 machines, so the chances of them getting a block is like how often you're going to win the lottery. So they might win once every year or two. So what a lot of them do is they join mining pools, and they pool their efforts. I think you can do that with lottery tickets too. It's like if 100 people go together and buy one lottery ticket, then they split the winnings. So that's more or less what mining, pooling is for mining. I personally don't want to do mining myself because it's an expensive machine. It takes a lot of electricity, and they're very noisy. So you don't want to run it inside your house or your apartment. Maybe some people could run it in their garage, or if they have an attic or upstairs or something like that. But you're going to pay money and electricity to run it, and then also to run the fans to keep it cool. And what a lot of the people that are serious miners right now, they're building whole warehouses full of these mining machines. And they oftentimes build them near places where the electricity is either free or cheap, like near a dam or hydroelectric dam, windmill farm, or some of them are building them very far north, like Sweden, maybe Norway, Mongolia, northern China. Because the cooling costs are lower, they can just basically put a fan and blow in the cold air from the outside. So Just a minute, I'm going to give you another statistic. So that was, we talked a little about Bitcoin as far as halving. So halving, again, is when you cut down the reward. Last LiteCoin halving took place on August 2015, and it happens every 4 years. And so August 8th of this year, there will be another halving. And so some people think that's going to make the price go up. That's unknown whether that's true or not, but some people have that theory. I'd have to research that more. So what's the difference between Bitcoin and LiteCoin? Well, LiteCoin was created by an MIT graduate named Charlie Lee. So he's a real person. You can go watch videos of him on YouTube. He's a very, very smart guy, but sometimes, to be honest, he's just not that exciting to watch. I've heard some interviews with him, and you know, he gives you good information, but he's just not like very animated or anything. Okay, so he decided he was going to create a, I don't know if you call it a better version of Bitcoin, but when I talked about open source, he took the Bitcoin source code, he copied it, and there's various parameters and tweaks you can make in there. Some of them are very easy, and some of them might require some programming, but he made a few little minor changes. So basically, LiteCoin is just another version of Bitcoin. And the biggest difference is he set the number of coins to be created to, I think it's 88 million, or 84 million, whereas Bitcoin is 21 million. So there will be 4 times as many LiteCoins as Bitcoin when the time runs out, which is, you know, still years to come. So what else about LiteCoin? Oh, so some people think since there's 4 times as many coins with LiteCoin, the ratio in price should be 4 to 1. So there are many people who tout that a LiteCoin should be worth 1/4 of a Bitcoin. And if that's true, then LiteCoin is really undervalued right now, because Bitcoin is somewhere in the $12,000, $13,000 range today, and LiteCoin is only around $100 and so dollars. So if it should be that LiteCoin was 1/4 of the price of Bitcoin, then LiteCoin should be selling for like 3,000 something right now. The other difference, there's a nice analogy that Bitcoin is gold and LiteCoin is silver. And another way to think about that is Bitcoin is a way to store your money, and LiteCoin might be a way to spend your money. So in the future, when cryptocurrencies become more popular, we talked about Facebook coin coming in yesterday's video, people are going to be going to maybe their Starbucks and paying with a cryptocurrency. And Bitcoin is kind of like, even though it's the original, it's kind of big and slow. And what they're working on, and I'm not sure how fast LiteCoin is actually, but it's maybe a little faster. But they're working on something called the Lightning Network, which will work on both Bitcoin and LiteCoin, and that will make things like, I don't know if it's 10 or 100 times faster. But that's not out yet. Programmers are working on it. There's many people that are for it, some people are against it, but that's called the Lightning Network, and that will make things faster. But since LiteCoin is a little more cheaper, a little more affordable, a lot of people are guessing that we're going to use LiteCoins as what Bixweir says as a means of exchange, a way to trade and buy and sell things, where Bitcoin is more like your savings account. Maybe think of LiteCoin as your checking account. The gold-silver analogy, I think, works pretty good too. So those are some basic differences between Bitcoin and LiteCoin. And in the upcoming days, I'll talk about Ethereum and Ripple and whatever other ones that I want to talk about. So thanks for watching. I didn't see any live people today. Hope you like the recording. And again, you can ask me any question you want. Just post below the video. Let me know what topics you'd like me to cover. I'm looking to answer questions that you have on my upcoming videos. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.